Hey travelers, if you are looking to 36 stars Pillar Base Floor 12 of version 5.6, I'm gonna show you a meta team and also a powerful team composition to clear it out. So I've got you covered in this video. For me, I have used the team on first half Escoffier, Furina, Kazuha and Ayaka. And for the second half, I have used Nahida, Mauvika, Bennett and Kinich. I will show you the exact build I have used, and for the replacement characters you can replace with those, and also the rotation tips and the enemy strategy so you can get 36 star too. So let's dive in. For the first half, as I already mentioned, I have used Escoffier, Furina, Kazuha and Ayaka. So as for their build, let's showcase the weapons and the replacement you can get for. Of course, for the cat, you can replace catch with the skyward spine. But if you don't have the skyward spine, I am running catch to get most of elemental burst. So you can go with that. If you don't want, if you want, you can also run with the base attack max out. So you can go with skyward spine. As for other replacement option, you can go with the limited time weapon, that is one Ashis. Or also you can go with the craftable series like prototypes are glitter. If you have any other options like energy recharge or boosting your overall attack, you can go with those weapons too. As for the artifact set, the best set will be the 4-piece Golden Troupe, of course. So because we're gonna mainly focusing on her elemental burst, so it doesn't matter if you're running 4-piece Golden Troupe, you have 4-piece Blizzard Slayer or 4-piece of emblems. So since I need to boost her attack overall, so I need to get on with the 4-piece Golden Troupe. You can also run the 4-piece of emblems set. So let's dive in. As for artifact set, of course, I'm gonna run all the 4 goblet, circlet, and sand with attack percentage to get healing, as she's going to be acting as a support and then first damage dealer. So she's going to be running on that. As for a substat, the most probably you should focus on right now should be like attack percentage, then energy, a little bit of elemental mastery, and you need to adjust your crit rate and crit damage. As for talent, you should be most probably focusing on her burst, which is elemental burst, then go for elemental skill or just a composition, and normal attack doesn't matter. As for the overall stats, this is the overall stats. Crit rate, crit damage, little bit of energy recharge, and a slight bit of mastery. Now, as for looking into Furina, Furina is most probably here for just for support, and you need to get ready for energy recharge. So yeah, let's dive into her details. As for weapon, the most versatile one will be her signature weapon. You can go with her, the Splendor of Tranquil Waters, or you can also go with the weapons like Florian Incision or Mist Little Reforge. It's not a bad choice. But for me, I will like to go with more of energy recharge one, the Skyward Blade, or you can also go with the Favonius Sword or the Sacrificial Sword, because you need to get energy recharge ready. That is elemental burst to be ready all the time. So let's go for the artifact set. There is no changes for artifact set. That is only one option for her. That is 4 pieces of Golden Troupe, and you can stack any amount of HP you want. You can set up all the sands, goblet, and circlet as complete of HP percentage, or you can a little bit add here and there to get a decent amount of damage from her too. So yeah, let's dive into her artifact sets details of substat. First, you need to focus on her crit rate and crit damage, little bit of here and there, and their HP percentage, then energy recharge and metal mastery. These are the stats for her substats. So here are these. And look into I little bit this crit damage to get an overall boost. I will show you the details. And we should focus mainly on an elemental burst, then elemental skill. As for overall stat, ERD sir, elemental mastery is completely balanced. Crit rate, crit damage is balanced, energy recharge is balanced. There is no need of once again hydro damage. There is no goblet of any particular damage bonus is required. As for Kazuha, this Kazuha is standard build. And of course, for weapon, you can either go with sacrificial sword, Favonius sword, or iron string. As for these are the 4-star option. For 5-star option, you can either go with the skyward blade, or you can also go with the signature weapon. As for the artifact set, there is no replacement for either two. This is because the Vedicent gives an 40% of elemental resistance. As for this world one, hydro or cryo. So let's dive into it. So as for the goblet, circlet, and sands, you're gonna use for elemental mastery. As for the substats, you're gonna focus on elemental mastery, then energy recharge, then you can focus on either attack percentage or crit rate or crit damage. That depends totally on you. As for the talent, you should be mainly focusing on elemental burst and elemental skill alike, so that it doesn't matter how well you're gonna feel. I will recommend you at least have 888, so that is the priority. As for this overall stat, you can just see my focus is completely on elemental mastery and energy recharge to be balanced out. So now let's go on to our main DPS in this same composition, that is Ayaka. Ayaka is mostly going to be running on many elemental burst, since we are running in 2 cryo resonance things, so does not require much crit rate. But still I focus on a little bit of crit rate, so get as much as possible. So as for our weapon, you can use our signature weapon Mist Splitter Repo, that is the best choice, but since I require Ryzen completely elemental burst, so I need lot of crit damage, so I will just send it with the incision. We can also go with another weapon choices like the 4-star weapon Black Clip Longsword. You can also go with the craftable series Samne Mekaguchi, or also go for the Shinard Blade. And as for the artifact set, the best one will be for this team will be 4 piece of Blizzard Strife. You can also go with the MLM piece, but I don't recommend because it only completely scales our elemental burst and energy recharge. And let's now dive into a substat. As for the main stat, you should focus on Goblet and Sands as an attack percentage. We are running a priest team. And for circlet, you can either focus on crit rate or crit damage. As for substat, you should be focusing on crit rate or crit damage, then energy recharge, then attack percentage, then elemental mastery. You need, and also you can replace the attack percentage at first, then energy recharge. And this is the first team we're gonna use. And as for the second half, the team we're gonna be using is Dendro team. Of course, we are getting a boost of 75% increase in Dendro damage, so we'll be focusing on that. So yeah, let's dive into it. First, we're gonna use Nahida, the one of the best Dendro applier. There is no replacement for her. I will show you why, and there is no replacement for her at all. So yeah, let's dive into her details. As for a weapon, you can of course use her signature weapon, or you can use any weapon which boosts elemental mastery. The best weapon you can use is Sacrificial Fragment, or you can also, if you don't have Sacrificial at all, you can go with Mama Mari. As for the artifact sets, you can either start with her completely with elemental mastery, that is Goblet, Circlet, and Sand. You can completely stack with elemental mastery. Any other choice for that is any other choice for her artifact set, that is I will say that is not. But if you want to go for any other artifact set, if you don't have 4 pieces of good default memories, you can either go with the Golden Troupe. So as for a substat, of course, focus on elemental mastery, then energy recharge, crit rate, and crit damage here and there bit. So yeah, for let's focus on talent, focus on elemental burst. This team completely focus on elemental burst, and for then the elemental skill. Now for let's focus on Mavika. Mavika here acting as a support character, not as the main DPS. So we should be building as a support. As for our weapon, you should be focusing on Earthshaker, or the signature weapon will be the best choice, or you can also go with the Black Flasher, or you can go with the Mail Flower. As for the F2P option or the craftable series, you can go with the Forest Regalia 2, which is great for burning reactions. So, as for artifact set, there is no doubt for this team. This team you should be using only piece which is grateful for the Kinich to boost his overall damage. So that will be the Scroll of Heroes in City, at the 4 piece of artifact set of this one. And for the stat, you should be focusing on either Goblet, Circlet, and Sands as an attack percentage, or also you can just switch the Goblet with fire damage bonus, because burning reaction will give you a lot of damage. And for substat, you should be focusing on crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, and little bit of elemental mastery too. So this is the stats. And for the talent, you should be focusing on his elemental skill rather than elemental burst this time, because she is acting as a support. Then go for elemental burst to get maximum amount of damage from her. Then as for overall talent, as I already mentioned, we need as a support, that is elemental mastery. At least you should be focusing on elemental mastery 150 or 140. That will be a criteria. And you can just focus on a crit rate a little bit and crit damage a little. And as for next is Bennett. Of course, there is no replacement for Bennett at all this time either. Now let's get on these details. As for weapon, the best weapon will be the base weapon with lots of base attack, either the Mist Splitter Wrist Push or the Aquila Favonia. But if you're running low in energy recharge, you can also go with Skyward Blade. As for the 4-star option, you can go with the Flute, or also you can go with the Sacrificial Sword or the Favonia Sword. Not great option, but you can still go with that. That's all. You can also go with the Shinard, but I don't recommend using a Shinard. This is not a overall best choice. As for artifact, there is no replacement option for this one either. You should be focusing on Nobleness Oblique, and you should be able to balance out the HP and energy recharge of Bennett overall with the artifact set, because most probably you should either focusing on energy recharge or HP. That will be it. I running is energy recharge Sand and Goblet and Circlet with HP percentage, and also balancing out the energy recharge with them. So as for the talents, I'm focusing on his elemental burst, then elemental skill. As for the overall stats, I focus on 32k HP plus 240 plus energy recharge. These are the overall stats. As for Kinich, we need to stack up as much as possible of crit damage, because we are running in with artifacts at 4 pieces of Obsidian Codex. So that will be it. So as for the weapon, you should be focusing on Black Clip Slasher, because it promotes lots of crit damage, or you can go with any other weapon which can boost his overall crit damage boost. So as for artifact set, without doubt there should be no replacement for it. If you can go with the burning one that comes in the what the bygone areas, right? Which was that small, very small region from mountain. You can either go with that, or you can go with the best one of the team, correct? So as for his stats, you should be focusing on his attack percentage, sand, Dendro Goblet, and crit rate or crit damage circuit. As for the substats, you should be focusing on crit damage, crit rate. Then you're going to need to focus on attack percentage, elemental mastery, and energy recharge. Energy recharge is not a priority this time. Elemental mastery is most priorities, but you should not be able to have any difficulty because Nahida can boost 250 plus elemental mastery for any of your party members. So as for his talents for Kinich, I'm using 698 and you should be focusing on his elemental skill most of the time. And for this overall stat, this is my overall stat, and you should be able to at least manage of his crit rate up to 35 to 40 crit rate at least, and elemental mastery should be around 80 or 100, that is the my count one. So as for the goblet, as I said, it's 46%, you will be getting elemental ones too. And this is the team we're gonna using, guys, this. So yeah, let's check it out. And before that, I will be explaining the rotation strategy we're going to use in the characters. So yeah, let's first focus on the team we're going to be using. So yeah, let's dive in. Let's load 12. I've already completed this battery. So yeah, let's go. As for the first team, I already mentioned it is Escoffier, then Furina, Kazuha, then it is Ayaka. As for the second half, it will be Nahida, then it should be Mavika, then Bennett, then it should be Kinich. So this is the team.